This may be the most bizarre card pull you've ever seen, but I get bored, and I was asking Spirit for a different kind of way to pull cards. This is what they came up with, and it's called Tossing It to Spirit. So we're just using the major arcana in each deck that I will offer you to choose from, and the intention is that the cards that the people for each deck are meant to see will land in the container. Because I had very little control over where the cards would go, the piles are going to be different sizes, some with only a couple cards and some with quite a few, but I'm not going to let you know which piles are which. Have some fun with it. Here are the 6 decks to choose from, all tarot decks, and the toss using only the 22 major arcana. On the left, deck 1, Shadowscapes, deck 2, Tattooed Tarot, deck 3, Beautiful Creatures, deck 4, Meet the Other Kind, deck 5, Fairy Tarot, and the last deck, number 6, The Art of Love Tarot. As with any reading, trust your gut, take what resonates, and discard what does not. Pile 1 is from the Shadowscapes Companion, and there were 3 cards that came up in the toss, with a very definite emphasis on feminine energy, because in this deck, the Fool is a female. You can see that she is perched on the edge of a very tall and thin precipice. Beneath her, there is a fox who represents cleverness. He is wondering what the hell she's thinking that she would jump off with only ribbons and doves to hold her up, if she does take that leap of faith. But the question is whether she is the fool for stepping out into the unknown without what appears to be any logic at all, or the fox for being too firmly rooted in the belief of the reality of intellectual thought. So this Fool is a symbol for new beginnings and adventures, pleasure and passion. She may act often without thinking, but she's ready for what that expanse of blue beyond her has to offer. So you can consider that there is either an oblivious foolishness to the terrible plunge, or a wild spirit of adventure and great faith and knowledge in what can and will bear her up and guide her through the times to come. This card is telling you that there are unlimited possibilities opening up for you. The next card is the High Priestess, and she embodies wisdom, knowledge, learning, and intuition. She is holding her arms out, ready for what life has to bring her, and there's an owl watching on who is the keeper of knowledge and who holds the key to unlock mysteries. There's a pomegranate here also that represents Persephone, who tasted the seeds and tied herself to Hades. It's a fruit of fertility and death. And she has moons embroidered on her garment that show waxing and waning, being very sensitive to the cycles of the moon. The last card, and here you can see why I said the focus on feminine energy, is the Empress. Creativity, generosity, patience, and love. This Empress is about abundance, experiencing the senses and embracing the natural. She is a creator and a mother, fertile and nurturing. She is the primal essence, an embodiment of life, and is deeply tied to nature. So it sounds to me like you have access to great intuition. You may struggle a bit with the moon cycles, and trust me, I can relate to that. You're caring and loving, maybe love to sit out in nature because it feeds your soul. And you're also wondering whether you're going to take that leap of faith into something new. thinking that this could be very exciting as long as you trust and have faith that the universe will look out for you. And that is pile 1. Pile 2 is from the 8 Coins Tattooed Tarot, and this is one of the largest piles in the toss, and it frankly goes from 0, starting a cycle, to the world, ending a cycle. So there's a lot ahead of you, and you're just starting out. The Fool advises you to let go of your fear and enjoy this journey, because all adventures require some risk. So you're advised to embrace your beginner status and follow your heart. The next card is the Magician. You've got some manifesting to do. You have all the tools you need to make magic happen. The power to create your own destiny is yours and yours alone. Now the next card is the Lovers. See, there's a lot going on in this pile. Enjoy the journey of growing your relationship, but watch for temptation and keep your feet on the ground. Maintain a strong relationship with yourself, first and foremost. And you're going to see why that admonition coming up. Next is the Hanged Man. It's telling you to wait because there's no reason to move immediately. There is something to be learned from your current situation. It's all unfolding because here is the Devil. It's important to remember that you are in control of how you move forward. And remember, you have the Hanged Man, which is telling you don't feel like you have to be rushed. Take your time. Consider things carefully. You can become free from the devils that have taken you hostage by letting go of your past and moving forward with love in your heart. You're stronger than you may feel right now. So, with the Lovers, the Hanged Man and the Devil, perhaps you've got some romance either going on or coming for you where you're going to be wondering if this is the right thing for you. There may be some codependency. If you happen upon your twin flame, you may discover that you feel rather addicted. But remember, you're in control. And the next card is Judgment. You have all the information that you need. You need to forgive yourself and others for the past, accept your situation, and take responsibility for your future. Immense freedom can be felt when you forgive yourself and take responsibility for your actions. Inner peace and personal growth can only occur once you've made the official decision on how to move forward. You know, I'm getting a distinct feeling that you've either met your twin flame or your twin flame is coming with these cards. And then the last card is the World. When your moment emerges, take the time to appreciate it. You have worked hard to get to where you are, and moments of true harmony and magic are few and far between. Don't let your own self-criticism overshadow the truly wonderful things you have done. So there is quite a bit ahead of you. Basically, don't give your power away. Remember that you control your destiny. You may meet someone that makes you feel like your brains are scrambled and you can't think clearly. But you have the capacity to make wise decisions if you can just take your time, step back, weigh things out. You know, usually they say, trust your heart. Don't let your head take over. But if this is a potential twin flame situation, it's like your head is going to take a vacation sometimes and you're going to wonder, you know, where it went to and if it's ever coming back. And then there will be other times that all you can think with is your logic, and you'll talk yourself out of whatever your heart is telling you. You have a bit of a challenge ahead of you. Pile 3 is from Beautiful Creatures Tarot. And the first card is the Magician. This card is telling you that you should start to learn how to develop your skills and put them to use. Because in order to create whatever it is you want, you have to learn by trial and error. You can't assume that you're going to be excellent at something without some stumbling and starting again and possibly going at it in a different way. But however you decide to progress, know that you possess magical skills of which you're not aware. Now, it could be you are aware. Maybe you're already working on manifesting something. The next card is the Chariot. This is telling you that you're in full control of what's around you and what you want to do. Apart from having power, situations are happening at a fast pace, and you can see them or feel them, but you can't seem to do anything about the movement of them or the outcomes. You're given the gift of prevention so that a problem does not become bigger than what it already is. And more importantly, if something's about to be blown out of proportion, you have the ability to control it and sustain it. Beware, though, of how and who you control, because control should only be applied when necessary. And then the last card in this pile is Judgment. And this is talking about that after all your losses, you're granted a chance to make up for whatever it is you lost or gave up. Now, it could be that you have to wait and earn the second chance, but second chances are given to those who truly deserve them or have fallen victim to something unjust. When you're given a chance, you must know when and where to apply it. And it is a magnificent time to renew yourself. Now, in this book, it talks about the card possibly being a calling, that you're being called onto something you will want to do and that you've never even thought about before. Deck 4 is with the deck meeting the Otherkin. The Hierophant can represent a person who follows rules and is most comfortable within a highly structured environment. He is knowledgeable, learned, an authority in his field, and represents the mental, physical, and spiritual aspects. The next card is the Lovers. Most usually associated with romantic love, sex, and marriage, but also applicable when it comes to business or work. In that case, it urges you to find your place not just within a business, but within a system that is aligned with your own values and beliefs, indicating that you may have difficulty being happy in a job that is asking you to do things that you are not ethically comfortable with. Of course, in a relationship reading, it could mean that you have a soulmate coming your way, or that you already have a deep bond that is a source of power and stability in your own journey. The Lover's card represents a strong example of a relationship, whether a parental bond, important friendship, or even a past marriage. The last card is Temperance, which basically is talking about balance between the spiritual, the subconscious realm, and the material world. When it comes to work or finance, Temperance guides us to the middle ground, balance, and flexibility. In a relationship, friendship, or love reading, Temperance urges us toward cooperation, harmony, and health. It's not a card of big passions and life-changing decisions, but rather asks you to slow down and think about balance. In a new love reading, the card can indicate that you have met or will meet a potential spouse who understands the value of balance. Pile 5 is from the Fairy Tarot, and the first card of the 3 is Release, which is telling you you can learn from your past and move forward, or you can be held back by it. And this is true in any aspect of your life. Because an attachment to the history, what's behind you, blocks you from progress and joy. So the card is urging you to release the past and go forward in an exciting new direction. It could be that you are welcoming moving forward. And even though it can be challenging not knowing what's ahead of you, the fairies want you to know that your future is a bright and magical one. So take your first steps toward happiness today by releasing the past. The next card is the Star. And it's telling you to believe that the challenges are going to be fading away as the joy comes in. And that life has a lot of magic and wonder in store for you. So drop any self-doubt and look to the future with hope and optimism. You can manifest whatever you need to move toward a happy life. Just trust in yourself and your abilities and allow your faith to grow. And the last card is the Moon, which says that if you can tune in, the universe is sending you messages right now about what the next step is to take toward your future. You could be receiving their guidance in the form of intuition or synchronicity, symbols, maybe even in your dreams. So you're being urged to pay attention and embrace the loving information you receive because it is divinely inspired. Pardon my stomach. I don't know, my stomach always wants to get involved in these things. There's no need to worry because that's only going to slow you down in your progress, and there's no need to be afraid, so let go of fear. If any part of your life just doesn't feel right anymore, then trust your intuition and make the necessary changes. Pile 6 is from the Art of Love Tarot. And the first card here is the Magician, that says that what you're looking for is actually looking for you also. That the universe feels your energy, and you can call these synchronicities fate or destiny, but it all comes to you as a gift of choice. You're able to transform any circumstance, and whatever is happening in your daily life, you can respond with the transformative tool of love. And if I didn't say so already, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tired this evening. This is the other big pile, so there are quite a few cards here. The next card is the Empress, who is initiating creative, practical growth because you're ready to nurture, heal, and open your heart. When you live your life protecting your heart by trying to control conditions, you block your ability to receive. But you are the mother of all you create. So combine your heart and your mind so that your intuitive wisdom can flow. The Empress signifies abundance. The more you nourish yourself, the more you have to give. The next card is the Lovers. And this card indicates that you're ready to feel love in all of its forms. The person that you will have in your life will inspire you to welcome, acknowledge, and love everything about yourself. A new romantic or sexual relationship is imminent or may have already arrived in your life. And the card could also indicate a deepening of an existing relationship that makes it feel renewed. If you don't have a partner, this card sees you embracing and accepting more of yourself. It's time to love yourself more fully so you can love and be loved more completely. And then we have Divine Order. And it's telling you to look at every aspect of your life from a fresh perspective to get back into balance. So step back and weigh all sides. Keep shifting your viewpoint until you feel centered, and only then make a decision. You can heal any situation by balancing the negatives with the positives. And an imbalance can be reconciled through a loving response. You're being asked to not take something personally, but to step outside of a situation to see the bigger picture. All things come from love. The scales are finding a way to return to balance and to return to love. Kind of taking you through a cycle here. The next card is Acceptance, Harmony. This is reassurance that letting go will bring stability, that you're ready to accept the past and admit the present so you have a balanced foundation for the future. Acknowledge where you've compromised and learn to speak your truth. Let go of blame and choose to love yourself exactly as you are right now. However you're looking at the situation and judging it has created an emotional obstacle. Be patient and allow for deeper healing. And then we have the shadow, fear. The shadow unravels anything that ties you up in knots. It's a secret darkness deep within you. A place that you've created to stuff away any feelings or situations that scare you. Could be rage, violence, revenge, rebellion, or repressed sexuality. It's likely you're punishing yourself for things that are not your fault, or putting away dreams and desires because you don't think they're possible. The card reminds you that you created the shadow and you can heal it also. Your shadow is just another part of you, and a part that needs to be embraced and loved also. It's not bad. It's not tricking you or trying to hurt you. It seeks harmony. And the card could also represent a destructive habit or relationship, so be wary of tying yourself to a situation or making a promise you will not want to keep. And then the last card is the Awakening, Emergence. This acknowledges a complete union and alignment within yourself. The physical and spiritual have merged into one. Until now, you've been holding back in a situation and looking at something or someone with your physical eyes, but your inner eye is awakening and you're seeing a renewed, loving perspective. Physical eyes see conditionally, but spiritual eyes see unconditionally. So bring all three eyes together for a fully balanced view. You have seen what is possible beyond the fear and limitations, and it is time to put your whole self forward. I gotta say, it almost feels like it's a twin flame situation. I don't know if you already have this person in your life or if you're about to meet them, but you know, this is the kind of personal work. It could be that as the magician, you've been manifesting it. You know, the nurturing mother, you've created it in your mind as you would like it to be. Here's this person, but things are a little out of balance. So it could be that you either are or will be giving too much so that it is lopsided. And to get to harmony, you're going to have to address those shadows. And that is part of the personal work, to learn to love yourself first. And then you're open to love in the way that you want it. Not out of balance, in harmony. Because you love yourself, you can love the other person fully, and it can be quite beautiful. And that is it for Pile 6.